Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unregulated Leadership podcast. We're so happy that you're here to join us. And we have Emily. She is doing her internship with Unregulated Leadership. Is it internship or practicum?
Practicum.
Okay, practicum.
I've been calling it an internship.
Listen, me too, because it's a back and forth, okay? I don't really know, but it's fine. But she's doing her her practicum with Unregulated Leadership, and guess where we are? We're in Portugal. And so this summer, we're international. So we're doing Portugal and Nigeria, and we are interviewing leaders from these different countries to just understand what leadership looks like for them. And so, but at the beginning of every season, we interview a student first. And so, Emily,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Emily. I am getting my PsyD at William James in organizational leadership psychology. I currently work as a therapist in the mental health field. I got my master's from NYU last year, and I've been working with clients ever since. I love what I do, but I wanted something that would kind of complement that in another way.
I love that. What made you pick William James?
Well, I was looking for something. I was like, I need something more. I wasn't completely satisfied with. I'm never going to be one of those people that's satisfied with doing the same thing every day forever. I love being a therapist. Everyone is different, so my day is always different. Yeah. But I'm like, I need something else. Yeah. More. Yes. And so I was like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I have this master's in psychology, this master's in counseling. I'm like, I can't just completely change to something else. Yeah. I'm like, I want something that's going to work well with what I'm already doing. So I was like, okay, well, what other psychology degrees are there? I was like, what else could I possibly be doing? And I'm like, I've been in school for so long. Let me get a doctorate. I might as well. I'm like, I've already been doing this, for the last 10 years. Yes. What's another 4?
Nothing.
So I was researching and I came across this program, and I was like, organizational leadership. I'm like, what do people do with that? Yeah. And so I started looking into what are some of the possibilities that, you could do with this kind of work. And I was like, it resonated with me. I've had some, bad experiences in different companies that I've worked for. And I'm just like, I'm like, someone has to do something about everything. And I'm like, well, maybe I should stop talking about other people doing something about it and just do something about it.
Oh my God. You are the problem solver. I love that.
I'm like, someone's got to do it. So why not me?
I love that so much. One, because it resonates with me, which is why I came to the program anyway, as well, because I was like, there's some not so great leaders out here, but also I recognize that there are not people being taught how to lead. And so they do what they see, whether it's good leadership or not, and everyone has their own definition of what good leadership looks like. But the influence and the impact and the motivation that, like, they're not doing that. But if you're not taught to do that, and you're taught to check boxes, or, which is why our tagline is to disrupt the status quo, because leadership is not checkbox. And so so that completely resonates with me. And so, are you looking to do organizational development in the mental health field, or?
I would love to do something in the mental health field. I think in my short experience, I mean, I've been doing therapy, with my internship, and now I work for a private practice, and I also work at kind of like an agency type situation. What I've noticed, even while I was in school, I'm like, there's so much red tape to being a therapist. Half the people that get my degree don't even become therapists.
Really?
No, because it's so difficult to even get past everything, all the, requirements that, the state is giving, and they don't make it very easy to afford to live off of what they want you, to work for free for a year, and you have to get all these hours before you can work for yourself. And so I've noticed a lot of issues that are happening in the industry, and now that I work for kind of like an agency type situation, it's even more prevalent to me. And so I think that we've kind of accepted, like, things that this just is the way that it is. I've actually been told that, like, well, that's just the way that it is. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
Things don't always have to be the way that they are just because that's the way that they are. They are that way because we accept it to be that way, not because it's the right thing.
So good.
And so I would love to be able to kind of go into some of these different, businesses, whether that's like an agency that has therapists, or some of these mental health tech companies that are kind of working, because that's such a new thing, but it's something that's not going away. And so I think that the industry itself has to adjust for that. And so maybe I could be someone that helps make that adjustment a little bit smoother.
I love that. So this is your first year?
Yes.
In the program. And so what has been in this first year your most memorable experience in the program?
Good question. I have to say, when I first started this program, I was not at all looking forward to the residencies. I very much did not want to have to go to Boston. I very much did not want to have to spend, days just in person. It was not something I was looking forward to. But I have to say, my mind was changed.
Wow.
I have had incredible experiences at the residencies. I think that there is a lot of value in them. And I think that those have been a real highlight for me.
I loved residency because it was a time for you to connect with the cohort. Like you would be chatting with them online or, in the live classes or whatever. But being in person, and most of the people that are in the program really want to do good work. And so most people aren't getting a doctorate for fun, right? And so they're doing it for a reason, because they want to do good work. So the problem solving, the way that we sit in our uncomfortability with some of the practical exercises that we do, I just absolutely love it. So yeah, residency for me too was, just amazing. So tell us a little bit about your traveling, because one of the conversations that we had when we first met, well, let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about why you decided to do the Unregulated Leadership podcast for your practicum.
Well, I was at the residency, and we get to choose, different things that we go to, and I saw that Dr. Tuesday was being interviewed. And I just love Dr. Tuesday. I think she's such a fun person, and I loved her class. I was in her class at the time, and I loved her class, and I love the way she teaches. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm like, let me go to this interview with Dr. Tuesday. And so I came and watched the the live recording for that, and I was just like, this is so cool. I was like, this because I was excited to see something that wasn't sitting in an office, because I knew we had to do these field placements, these practicums, and I also wasn't looking forward to that. I was like, no thanks, because I thought in my mind, I was like, this is more unpaid work that I have to do after I just spent a year
I get it.
doing unpaid work. I was working basically a full-time job unpaid. And so I was like, I don't want to have to do more unpaid labor. But I was so excited to see that I had an option that wasn't me going to an office. And so that was really, I'm like, this is clearly not an office. This is the best.
It's our office. Yeah, this is our office.
And best looking office I've ever seen.
Ever. So yeah.
So that's really what attracted me to it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I didn't want to work with anyone else.
Oh,
so I didn't apply to anyone else. I was like, it's all or nothing. I'm like, if she doesn't want me, I guess I'll have to postpone.
I love that. Dr. Tuesday is also one of my favorites. She's one of the reasons why we even were doing this podcast. She was my field placement supervisor for one of them, and it was everything that we wanted to do. Was like, do it, create it, because it wasn't a thing before, and so it has evolved over time. And so yeah, Dr. Tuesday is just an amazing human being. And so yeah, we want to offer creative things, and it also helps the students be creative themselves and think outside the box. It's like, okay, I don't want to necessarily do a podcast, but I want to do something else. Can I do that, right? Like, how can I find someone that's doing that? So just creating your own way and not just doing what everybody else is doing, not fitting into boxes. I don't believe in boxes. I don't even like boxes at all, right? So it's just like, how do we change the world by being creative and using our imagination? So love that. Okay, so what the first conversation that we had, we kind of talked about your travel. So tell us a little bit about your travel and what you do and why you travel, where you go, all that great stuff.
Well, obviously I love to travel. I didn't travel for a very long time, and then once I finally was able to do so, once I got past the, I need to go with someone, I was like, I'll just go by myself. I don't need, I'm like, I moved to New York by myself when I was 18. Like, I'm like, I don't need to go with someone else to another country. I can just go.
Yes.
So I started solo traveling, and a whole nother world was unlocked for me. I just don't think that I'm meant to be in one place all the time. I think that there's so much out in the world, and there's so many beautiful places and different cultures, and I think that a lot of times people get so stuck in like what they know, and I don't ever want to do that. I don't ever want to be stuck in what I know, because there's so much that I don't know. And so last year I went to 5 continents. Wow. I don't even know how many countries, how many cities. I probably went to at least 20 cities that were not in the States. And I do some domestic traveling, but I prioritize international.
I love that.
But yeah, so anytime I have the opportunity to travel, I take it. And if I don't think I have the opportunity to travel, I'm like, I'll just figure it out. I'm like, I book it. Like, I'll book the hotel. And then I'll be like, I'll figure out how to pay for it later. I'm like, it'll come. It'll come by the time the trip comes.
Exactly. Oh, I love that faith. That is faith. And it's like, and they probably always work out.
And it does.
Yeah.
It does. Gotta manifest it.
Because you have the faith that it is, and so it happens.
Exactly.
Like, we don't always have to know the how or the why or the when, right? But you just put it out there, you schedule the things, and they always happen. So I love that.
Everything we want is already ours.
Yes, yes. We just have to believe that. And not a lot of people have that mindset. Where do you think you got that mindset from?
You know, no one else in my family has ever been on a plane. If my dad has never even been to visit me in New York, or my brother. My mom will come, maybe like once a year, but she takes a 9-hour train to get there.
Wow.
So no one in my family's ever been on a plane. They've never really left, my hometown or like the next state over. But my mom has always said like, that she felt like I was like, she was like, oh, she's itchy. She's itchy to leave. She's itchy to go somewhere. I think she calls it like itchy legs or something like that. It's something so weird. But when I visited New York for the first time, I was like, this is for me. And I had never been able to experience other cultures in that way, because New York truly is a melting pot, and everyone is there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to see all of this. I want to go. I'm like, I have to go somewhere. And so once I realized that other people were doing it, I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm going to do that. This is for me.
One of the things that when we talk about leadership is leading yourself first before you can lead others. And so just in listening to you talk, it's like you didn't allow what you saw to limit what you did. So where do you think that came from? Because a lot of times when I think about people hearing, you went to 20 countries, you went to 5 continents in 1 year. There are some people that haven't gone to 5 continents in their entire life, right? So when someone's listening to you, it's like, how did she do that? How did she do that and come from a family that didn't do that? So it wasn't like you was following, right? Like you created your own path. How did you do that? How would you tell someone to do that?
It's hard to essentially put in words. I remember when I was graduating high school, no one in my family went to college either. And I was going to school in New York City, and I didn't know anyone. And I didn't quite understand why other people didn't have the desire to do that. It was just something that's so like natural to me. It's just like ingrained in my being that it was never honestly like a choice for me. It was just what it was. It just is. And I remember I was in the car with my mom on the way home one day, and I've had the same best friends my entire life. And I'm still best friends with them to this day. But I wanted them to come with me. I wanted them to get out too. And I remember crying to my mom, where I was like, I don't understand why anyone is okay with living a mediocre life. And there's nothing wrong. Oh my God, I'm such a crybaby. I'm getting emotional.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
there's nothing wrong with, you know, the life my parents have.
Right.
They love it, and it's perfect for them.
Yeah.
And I love my parents, and I think my parents were great parents and always told me you can do anything you want to do. My parents never let me believe that I was limited to anything.
I love that.
Any idea I had, my parents like, you can do it. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I want to be president. My mom was like, okay, so you're going to be president. I was like, I want to go to Harvard. My mom went out and bought me a Harvard hat.
I love
like,
that.
I was like, I'm like, I want to join the swim team. She's like, okay, let's go. Like, anything I ever had the idea of doing, my mom was like, absolutely. I wanted to be a fashion designer. She said, okay, she went and bought me a sketchbook. She was like, let's turn on America's Next Top Model. Let's get some ideas. Anything I ever wanted to do, my mom's like, yes, you can do that. And so I think I've always just, any idea I've ever had, I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
I think that's where it started from, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
For sure. As you're talking, it's the belief that others have that you can do what you say that allows you to then believe that you can do what you say. And so the value of being who you're around, who speaks into you, even as you become an adult, like not allowing other people's limitations to then limit you, because that's a thing. It is such a thing. And so I love that. I love that so much for you. So as you are traveling and meeting new people, we talk about leadership. What type of leaders, or have you been able to see the difference in leadership styles in these different countries that you've been to?
Yeah, I think when it comes to, I think there's a lot of differences between US companies and international companies. And even I've worked for companies that had, you know, US employees and also international employees. And it is just, in my opinion, it is a night and day difference between the way that people operate. I think America very much has this hustle culture, and like the work is never finished. International people, it hits 5 o'clock, that computer is closed. That computer is closed. They're not opening it. And they don't, and they, you know, they're always on a holiday.
Yes.
I love that they call vacation holiday. It's my favorite thing. I'm like, it is a holiday. You're right. They don't quite understand the, you know, Americans, we live to work. We don't work to live. And I think that in Europe it's more of a work to live situation. I think that a lot of the leaders here also have that mindset. They don't want to be attached to work at all the time. I think Americans are very much, work is a lot of their identity, and I don't necessarily think that is the same thing here. I think the culture differences are more focused on, you know, a lot of times more focused on your family and like your hobbies and things like that, in my opinion.
I love that. I think when you were saying that, like I worked in the government for 22 years, and you know, we had phones, and so the phone is always, I would take my phone on vacation. Like, insane. And then I would even go to conferences, and that would be my vacation because it was in a different city that I was in. Until I actually, when I got my master's, my gift to myself was an international trip. So I think we went to the Dominican Republic or Punta Cana or something like that. And I was like, I am missing out on so much, because this is what you see. Your supervisor takes their phone, they're responding on vacation, so then you're responding on vacation. And it's just like, I don't want to do that anymore. And this is not fun. Like, and I want to do what I enjoy doing. And so being able to travel, that means you are working wherever you are, is wherever your laptop is or whatever, you know, that's where you, so how do you enjoy that part of it?
Well, I'm so fortunate that now as a therapist, I do have the majority control over my schedule. Obviously, you know, I have to have, you know, time to see my clients, but I'm like, okay, like I was in Australia last year and there's a huge time difference. I was seeing my clients at like 7 a.m. and then I was like, well, now I'm ready for my day and I'm going to go out and do whatever I want. I'm like, I'm done with my work day at 8 a.m. And I'm like, so now I'll go and do whatever I want.
Oh, I love that.
And so I'm so glad that I don't have to physically be somewhere, so I can physically be anywhere.
I love that. I love that so much. So one of the things that we talk about, you know, the characteristics of an unregulated leader, it's being open-minded. And then a lot of times we use these words, but the action behind the words is really what shows open-mindedness. So open-minded, really being authentic, being true to yourself. But in that being true to yourself, it's learning who you really are, not imitating somebody else. Having courage and being disruptive. Being unregulated, a lot of times people think that's a negative thing, but the reality is unregulated means I don't do what other people do. I don't check boxes. I am truly, and I do what's right. Like, you have good character, you have good morals, like your motives are right. And so when you think of the term unregulated leader, what do you think makes you an unregulated leader?
I think that there are lots of jobs that anyone can do, but like anyone can, open a spreadsheet, anyone can do, whatever task, whatever those things are. But the person themselves, they have something extra about them that makes them the right person to do it. And I truly believe that for everyone. And I also believe that whenever I'm doing a job, I'm like, anyone can do what I'm doing, but in this situation, I'm the right person and why. And so I think that wanting to find whatever it is that makes someone else different is the thing that I always look for.
Yeah. I call them the unicorn of excellence, right? Like, you are your own unicorn of your own excellence and what God has created you to do and do. And the people that are assigned to you are specifically assigned to you. So really operating in your calling and who you're created to be, the people that you're assigned to will just naturally come. What are your thoughts on that?
I do think I agree with you. I think that opportunities and people come at the exact time that they're supposed to.
We should put that on a t-shirt. Love that so much. Yeah. So any last final words for the people before we start talking to all these leaders out here in Portugal?
My advice to anyone would be to do whatever it is that you think you're meant to do, because I'm sure that it's right.
I love that.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right.
You're right, because you thought it. So
exactly. If someone else can do it, so can you. Yes. You have to ask, why not me? If them, why not me?
Can we put that on the t-shirt too? Oh my gosh.
I actually do have that hung up in my apartment.
Yes, come on.
Why not me?
Yes, why not me? Well, thank you all for joining us with Emily on this episode of Unregulated Leadership. Like, subscribe, and follow us on all our platforms. And we'll be back talking to other leaders in Portugal. So see y'all later. Bye.